Good morning, Trikers and friends. This is Greg, the Mile High Triker, and today's topic is chronic pain, specifically my back pain and right hip pain, and how my trike helps me deal with it. Hope you enjoy it. Let's discuss disabilities, and specifically my disability. About 20 years ago, I had a pair of accidents that did some damage to my right hip and my spine. Like most bent riders, I used to be an upright rider. This was back around 2000 or so. My old Specialized hybrid, its wheel got caught in a grate, a drain grate. I got thrown off the bike onto my right hip. And I started to have problems with it after that. 1997 to 2003, I was a bus operator with the Denver area transit system. Anyway, one day when I was as a bus driver, I was driving a very old bus, and these buses have a suspension on the seat. It cushions, the bumps in the road. And the seat bottomed out, and the impact went right up through my spine. I blew out my L5-S1 disc, and I have never been the same since. That was 20 years ago. I've had two surgeries in 2002 and 2011. And after 3 years, in 2003, I was forced to leave the transit authority. My back pain got so bad I couldn't handle it. I tried some other jobs and those didn't work either. So eventually I was forced to work part-time. Delivering pizzas was probably the best job for me. I could limit my hours. The hours were pretty flexible. It paid really well for the amount of time that I invested. I had an old car and still have the same car, an old Honda, 92 Honda. Gets excellent gas mileage and is extremely reliable. I've had this car since 1996. I've had it for 24 years. Anyway, I did the pizza work for a long time. But eventually it got to where I couldn't perform some of my duties, and I had to stop doing that. That was around 10 years ago. In case you're wondering, I do have a mask with me. I don't wear it all the time, but when I pass people, I put it on before I reach them. On this particular ride, I believe we're on the Toll Gate Trail, or is it still the Highline Canal Trail? I'm not sure. But this is a new route. You haven't seen me do this one before. This is Aurora Hinckley High School, which is, I think the schools are going to open again. Whether that's a good idea, I don't know. Colorado's number of cases has not been that high. We have a few hundred people in the hospital, and some thousands have tested positive, but it has not gotten out of control here like it has in some places. But it's nice to be on a road that's a little bit, or a trail that's a little bit different than what I'm used to. But let's continue with my disability story. And I will point out that this is not to complain or elicit sympathy because you can see what I'm doing. I mean, I went through a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of difficulty. But I found this. I found bent riding in my trike. Oh, the objective on this ride is to do 8 miles. And if I feel good, maybe I'll do a little more than that. We'll see. But anyway, as time passed, as I said, things got more and more difficult. I applied for Social Security disability and was denied. It was not a pleasant experience. I went into a depression. I've been on pain medicine for a long time, which I am weaning off of now. Riding my trike has helped me with that process too. I mean, in my survivor videos, I didn't mention how important being able to do this has been to me in the recovery process from the cancer. And it's been a huge part of my recovery, or at least coming to grips with the chronic back pain too. I mean, chronic back pain, it's sort of a silent killer. It doesn't get to you all at once like the leukemia almost did to me. I mean, this thing eats away at you. People who have chronic pain or chronic diseases can identify, I'm sure. A couple years after I finished somewhere around that time, after I finished my cancer treatment in 2016, I was watching YouTube and I came across some trike videos. Matt Gallant, I think, on his world tour of China, and he never made it beyond, I think Laos is where he stopped, or Cambodia, when the COVID hit. So, and then I saw some other trikers with disabilities. And when I saw some of these folks, I mean, these are people who've had major issues, some worse than mine: heart disease, transplants, veterans, of which I'm a veteran too, with amputations and battle wounds. And a lot of them have gotten a hold of trikes, bent and other bent machines, and they've moved on with their lives. A lot of them went through difficulties like I did, depression, and don't get me wrong, this is not easy for me. My back and my right hip always hurt after every ride. And usually the longer the distance, the more pain that I have. But it's getting better. When I first bought my trike back in February of 2019, I couldn't go very far at all. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm learning. It's been about 1.5 years now, or around that. Finally found a way that has enabled me to be mobile. I can get out and feel the wind in my hair and see things like I did 20 years ago. But anyway, in the end analysis, what it's really about is mobility. I mean, I've got a saying, and I'm sure most of you who are trikers, or whatever type of exercise you do, whether it's running or walking or hiking, movement is life.